Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com. Offer of A Chicken's Guide to Having Women Beg for You, and Sex, Lust, and Lies can be found on Amazon.com, and Love Can't Wait can be found on Amazon.com as well. And someone asked me a question a couple days ago. They said, why some black men are fascinated by white women and non-black women. Why some black men are fascinated by white women and non-black women. And that's a good question, and this shit goes way back, man. It starts when we're kids. This is when the brainwashing really starts. Because, it starts like when you're buying toys. If you're a little girl, for example, most of the dolls, even the dolls today, are white. There's some dolls that are brown or of color today, but the majority of dolls are white. And you have to understand that images, stuff that we see, are very important. You want what you see. That's how most people are. We want what we see, right? And we're African Americans. We're we're special people in this country because we have a very unique position in this country, because we've been disenfranchised and we've been kept away from resources, and the government has strategically done a fine job in making sure that we're far away from the resources as possible. And then they'll bring other people over here, and they're getting unearned benefits over us. For example, you got a guy, I'm going to use my nephew. He's 25 years old. And he still can't get a credit card today. And you know what they're going to say? Oh, you don't have any credit, right? So you say, hey, how do I get credit? So, well, you have to establish your credit, right? So you'd be like, okay, how do I establish credit? They said, well, in order to establish credit, someone has to give you a credit card, or you have to finance something like a car or something like that. So you'd be like, okay, so how come you can't take a chance on me so I can get established? You see the oxymoron in this, but it's bullshit, because you got a guy that's coming from China today, and as soon as he get a social security number, within another week or two, he can go online and get a credit card, and he has no credit, don't even have a job, just got here off the boat, fresh meat. And this is what has happened to us. We've been put in a trick bag. And there's a book out that talks about this, all the laws and public policies that's been passed by the U.S. government for over the past 400 years, probably like 500 years. And the name of the book is How White Folks Got So Rich. The Untold Story of American White Supremacy. In that book, it talks about a lot of the laws and policies And a lot of them that you know about, but you probably wasn't aware of it, just like I was, until I read it. I mean, every facet of your life, somewhere, some area of interest is being talked about in that book. And you can actually look it up online and read it out of the book all at the same damn time. So it's documented at the Library of Congress. It's the same documents that's in that's pulled, that stems from the book in there. So it's easy to look up. So they can't lie and say, hey, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. No. Those policies are still on the books today. So once you are a disenfranchised group of people, you have no code of conduct. The women have basically turned against the guys, and that's another trick that a lot of colonizers use. The fastest way to take down a nation or a community or a group of people is to get the women to turn against the guys. That's probably the first tactic that they use, for the most part. And then after they do, and all they do is just give the women perks, benefits. Some of the women are going to take it, some of them won't. It's a numbers game. And then you got to take things away from the guys. And then you got to have demonstrations so the women can see the image of the guy being made a fool of in public or on television, whichever works better. And that's going to have most women in fear. That's like a tragic experience. I mean, because women are very emotional. So if you pay attention to average women, if something happens that scares them, or maybe they might be in a car accident, or maybe they might see some type of violence in front of them, that really fucks women up emotionally. I mean, that really scares the shit out of most women. So imagine a woman witnessing her husband or her boyfriend being brutalized or being taken to jail or something tragic really happening in her presence. That really fuck her up. So back in the day, they had a lot of these demonstrations. They took pictures. They even showed some on television. They even done movies about it. And these types of the goal is these type of events really fucks women up psychologically. And most women are going to do whatever the colonizer says after going through a tragic experience like that. Plus, they get benefits and the leftover crumbs. So that's how you basically colonize people, because there's no line of defense. If you get rid of a guy, there's no line of defense, because guys historically protect women. So if you take out the guys, people can come in and do anything they want to the women. They'll rape the women, they'll get her pregnant, whatever, beat her up. It don't matter. Anything goes. And women, they're gonna do whatever they got to do, whatever that is, because they're just trying to stay alive. They're trying to, make sure their kids is okay and which, some of them everybody ain't going to make it in a situation like that. So, once the people are disenfranchised, and a lot of these people are going to go along to get along because they want to survive. They don't want to die, right? And, they're going to, at some point, they have to stop fighting. They can't keep beating people up forever. You can't do that. That takes too much time and too much money and too much manpower. So they got to call a truce. Peace. Right? That's, on the surface is bullshit. You look on the surface, that's how it looks, but behind the scenes, there's no peace. But we're just not fighting. You have to find another way to maintain the people. So that's where religion comes in at. Christianity. But you're not gonna worship somebody that looks like you. You're gonna worship somebody that looks like me, the colonizer. Right? So you're worshiping somebody that looks like me. You have images in your church that look like me. It don't look like you. It looks like me. So this is where the propaganda comes in at. You're worshiping somebody in the churches that look like me. You go to the store, you see somebody else that look like me. The magazines, you turn on the television, somebody looks like me. And on television, they take it to the next level. Television and magazines, they take it to the next level. You see blonde hair and blue eye white women on television and in the magazines and in the movies. And on television, you might be looking at the news. It's a blonde hair, blue eye white women on the news talking about the weather or talking about the local news in your city or your town, wherever you live at, right? And then you go to school, the teacher is another white woman, right? So it's white women every fucking where, basically. Outside of your family, your community, your neighborhood, you might have a few white people. But if you leave that neighborhood, or you go to school, or you go to college, you go in the military, you travel, it's white people everywhere. You're going to see white people in the airport, white people on the bus, white people on the plane. I mean, it's white people at your job. It's white people at the football game, the events, the awards. It's white people when you walk down the street. It's white people at the store. It's white women. It's white women everywhere. And this is how we get fascinated by white women, because what you see is what you get intrigued and curious about. Doesn't matter who you are. But here's the deal. A lot of people are attracted a lot of women are attracted to black males. A lot of white women are attracted to black males. A lot of black males are attracted to white women and non-white women. But a lot of them will not take that leap. They won't take action and cross over. A lot of white women will not sleep with black males. A lot of them do, but a lot of them won't either, because they're afraid of the consequences. Now, from black people's point of view, we don't have no code of conduct. So there's no really consequences involved. We can basically do what we want. We might get a little backlash from our friends or family, or maybe if you're a celebrity, or from your fans or whatever. But from a white person perspective, they have a code of conduct, and they have friends and family and people that they have to depend on, sometimes financially or in some type of way, for support in some type of way. So before a white person takes that leap of faith to either sleep with a black person or date a black person, she has to take everything into account. It has to be some type of structure or some type of planning involved, because she has a support system, right? Now, most black males don't have a support. We don't have a support system unless you created one for yourself. But their support system for the average white person was there before they were born. That's the difference. But if you the brainwashing starts when you disenfranchise a group of people, when you make them feel like they're useless, they're nothing, everything about them is wrong, you're ugly, you're stupid. And people will seek out acceptance. A lot of them will be dependent on the other group of people that's perceived as being better, successful. They set the standard. They're the best thing since sliced bread. And that happens because the other group of disenfranchised people have low self-esteem. See, if you have low self-esteem, you can manipulate and get almost anybody to do any goddamn thing. They'll fall for almost anything because they don't have any standards. They don't have any self-worth. And a lot of it is fear-based. So that's how a lot of black men have become fascinated by white women and non-black women, because a lot of them have low self-esteem, and this shit started when they were kids, man. It started before we were born, and we didn't have anything to do with it. But at the same time, the brainwashing is so goddamn powerful, and it's hard to break. It's hard to break them shackles. It's hard to you got to start a whole damn new tree. It's hard to do for most guys, man. So most guys just go along to get along. It's easier that way. It's easier to go along to get along. Most guys don't want to be no damn trendsetter. They don't want to lead nobody. They just want to work their 9-to-5 job, go along to get along. They don't want to take no damn trips to outside of America. Most guys don't want to pay to get no passport. They're happy working that job, kissing some white guy's ass 5-6 days a week. And every once in a while, they might fuck some white chick, or she'll make a pass at him, and he'll feel good about that. And holidays will come up, and they'll get with their family, and everybody play like they like each other. Most guys are happy just doing that. They'll do that for 15, 20 years. Then that shit'll get old, and the kids will get older, and they'll move out, and the kids will replicate and model what they did. So it's a ongoing generation of failures. I mean, because the kids are gonna model you, but at some point, somebody has to break the chain, cut the shackles. So if you like what you heard, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Subscribe to my channel. Until next time, Sharp Game is out. Peace.